Welcome back to the new project in Power BI, end-to-end project about automation in business intelligence tool in Power BI. When you are a data analyst, how things works in the company, you'll understand in this particular project. Let us try to decode about this project case study. This project is taken from one of the company as a reference. The problem statement, I'll first explain you what exactly is that. In one of the company organizations, people used to receive an email every hour. It is a company related to fintech. The people used to receive every hour data via email. And there were dedicated team of like 10 resources. Their job was to download that data via email, clean and massage the data, understand what data problems are there. Then post that they have to combine all the data what they receive every hour and then create a beautiful visuals in Excel, and they used to manually send the data as a number, one figure number to their relevant team or stakeholders. This process used to take a lot of time and consume a lot of resources in the organization. Now, the lengthy process consumes a lot of time in the company, and the company is to spend huge amount of time and effort on these resources. Now, people of those companies have migrated to Power BI, and that is what I'll be covering in this particular project. So the project is end-to-end project in Power BI, how to get the email attachments without opening the email. Now imagine if I have 1000 email attachments, if I want to make a sense of that data, those email attachments can be Excel, CSV, PDF, JSON, any flat data files. Now, if I want to download those data, clean and combine those data, it usually takes huge amount of time in the organization. Now, in this video series, you'll learn about the technique, how Power BI fetches that email attachments without opening the email and then sends a beautiful dashboard directly to your stakeholder. It can be your manager, team leader, it can be your client or any end user. So let us decode that particular project case study in this particular video. Now remember, implementing this kind of case studies in a company will save at least 4 to 5 months of time per individual. The organization will save 4 to 5 months of salary per person, guaranteed. I have implemented, I have tested it practically in all the organizations, and it is a big hit example. Let's try to understand. So I have some data. I keep on receiving data every month, okay, in an email, and that email contains the attachment. For example, if you see, I have received an email from Vikas, okay, and the subject line is TechnoEdge sales monthly data September 2022, TechnoEdge sales monthly data October 2022, and so on. And the data I keep on receiving every now and then. I purposely have asked the person to send me all the email attachments right away because I wanted to show you a demo for that purpose. Now, what that email attachment contains, it contains one attachment which is an Excel file, and that Excel file has the data about September 2022. If I go for May 2022, you can see I'll get May 2022. The subject also contains May 2022. Now, the person has also written some description here that, hi Pavan sir, please find the attached TechnoEdge sales monthly data for May 2022. Now, before we actually go for a practical, let us find out what the data exactly is. So I'll just double click and open. And if I try to format the data, you can just have a look here. This data actually contains about the sales information, custom information, all the regional information about the data, how much sales, how much profit, what quantity and what discounts we have given to the organizations. So if I want to explain the data, this is a very good data for learning purpose because it contains all different data types. It contains date data type, which is ship date and the order date. So it was ordered, that is the order date. And then when the product was being shipped to the person, that's a shipping date here. Same way, we also have some other data type, which is a text data type, which has a shipping mode. How did you take away that product? Was it an express way? Was it a simple normal delivery? How it is? So we have a shipping mode, customer ID, the name of the customer, the segment. It also contains geographical information about country, city, region, postal code, and different geographical data type. Later on, if you observe here, we also have data related to category, subcategory, and the product name. And lastly, I have data related to numbers, sales, profit, discount, quantity, etc. So now what we want to do, the end goal is this data we keep on receiving every month. TechnoEdge company spends a lot of time and resources for that person. He is dedicated for that work. He downloads the data, cleans and combines and creates a beautiful report. And this report has been prepared every month. Now, what we are going to do is we are going to reduce the time of that person and we're going to save the time of that company. How do we do that? And the person doesn't have to come to the office for this particular work. Let us see that practically. Now, the very first thing is to do this activity, you need to have Power BI desktop version. Number one, you need to have a corporate email ID. Gmail and Yahoo will not work. You need to have a corporate email ID. I already have a corporate email ID for technoedgels.com. You can have Bajaj, Finserv, Wells Fargo, RBI, any corporate email ID you need to have. Number one. Second is I have an Outlook where all the emails I receive. So what you can do is first thing, you have to shift all the emails which are in your inbox to a separate folder. And how do we do that? You need to have little basic knowledge about the Microsoft Outlook. So I can go to the home tab and here I can define a rule. Now remember, this project what we are doing is assuming that the person has already completed a Power BI course, maybe a classroom training, maybe an online training, or maybe some video you have gone through. If you have gone through those basics, now we are coming to the end-to-end project about this Power BI. So now let us begin this part. The very first thing what I have to do is I have to shift all the emails which has the attachments, which has a subject line as TechnoEdge sales monthly data into a separate folder in Outlook. That is the first thing I have to do. So I'll just click on create rule. Here I'll say emails which contains subject as monthly sales data, and I'll just remove this part. What I want to do is I want to move the item to a particular folder. I can select a folder. In this place, I will create a new folder. Name of the folder here is monthly sales data. And then I can just click on OK button. And you see a monthly sales data folder is already created. And now I can just click on OK button, click on OK. Now it will ask me, do you want to execute this rule right away? So I'll say, yes, I want to run this rule right now. So I can just click on OK. All the emails which contains TechnoEdge sales monthly data as a subject line will be shifted to that particular folder. Now, this is an ocean of topic. It can also have different examples. Not only this particular thing, it can have maybe person who's sending, maybe from a system generated email, maybe the date. You can filter based on different parameters. Right now, I'm very much interested in the subject line. The subject line was common in all the places. So if I scroll down, you can see how many emails I have. I have total 48 items. 48 items in that monthly sales data folder. Now, in this data as well, I don't want to combine the data which is of 2019. I only want to combine data which is after 2019, which is 2020, 2021, 2022. These are the only 3 years data I want to combine. Now imagine if I ask a person to do this activity in the Microsoft Excel, combine 36 attachments, first download those email attachments, then consolidate all those 36 attachments which are Excel files, and then create a beautiful dashboard. So this person will take a lot of time. Let us see how do we do it in hardly 10 clicks, 10 button clicks, no coding required. Moving on to this is my Power BI. Power BI, there's a user interface which has been changed. We have some new features which has come over here. All the visuals which used to have earlier on the right hand side are shifted on this place. Okay, so you'll see all the charts and visuals arranged over here. This new feature has come in the month of March, April 2023. So if you're using older version of Microsoft Power BI, you need to upgrade on that. What is the process of upgrading? File menu bar, options and settings, options. Then you have the option given here as preview features. In this preview features, we have plenty of different options available. What are the key options which are important? On object interaction, that is one thing. Second would be here as a modern visual tooltips. And third would be here as optimize ribbon. So these are three new options which are there. But safer side, you can select all the options over here. Now, the moment when you're watching the video, if you watch after 1 or 2 or 3 months, this options might be upgraded. So make sure every month you have to come and see what are the new features coming up. Now, there are very few companies which immediately migrate to the newer version because some features might have some defects or bugs. So they don't want to take a risk. Today when I'm recording, there are also many defects in Microsoft Power BI in the newer version. So you have to be careful. If you're a student, obviously you can try this new version. If you're working professional in one of the company where there are live projects already going on, do not try to implement new features till you get an go ahead from the admin person. So now coming back to this part, I can click on OK. Click on OK. You have to restart Microsoft Power BI. Since I have already have the new features, I don't have to restart. Now, how to get the email attachments in Power BI without opening email? That's a beautiful part. So I can click on Get Data, More button. Microsoft Power BI can pull data from 100 plus data sources. So if you see, there are plenty of different data sources you can pick up. So you can pick up from SQL, Oracle, Big Data, SAP, PDF, Access, JSON, and Excel, CSV, many of them. To get the email attachments, we have to type the connector name as Exchange, Microsoft Exchange Online. So once you click on connect option, you have to enter your email address. Remember, Gmail and Yahoo will not work. You need to have a corporate email ID. Only then it will work. So if you're a student, do not have an email ID. This practical will not be useful for you. But if you're a working professional, you can show this trick to your manager, which is going to save tons of time. I can guarantee it is going to save 1 month of time per person who does this activity. And I'll explain at the end what it does. So here I type my email ID and I can just click on OK. Now it will ask me the password. Since I already have a login in this place, I'll just click on Microsoft account, sign in, give the permissions, and then click on connect. It is hardly 3 button clicks and I'm getting the whole Outlook, all the data from my Outlook inside Microsoft Power BI. I can see all my calendar details, whichever details I've blocked it. I can see all my emails with attachments, meeting requests, people and tasks. Now, this is just one example. You can try hundreds of examples on this particular project. If I can import all the email attachments, I can make a sense of that data. If you're a person who regularly does a meeting, you can analyze how many hours in a year you have done meetings. You can take down those meetings to 10, 20, 30%. You can keep only those meetings which are important. You can also think about all the people which are connected to you. You can get all the details about that person. For time being, I'm interested in the email. So I'll just select this mail checkbox and then click on transform data. Now see the beautiful part, all the email has been come into my Power BI in just hardly 3 to 4 button clicks, no coding required. The first thing what I have to do is, from this place, I have separated the data, which is monthly sales data. Now there are around 48 emails in that folder. So the first column, if you see folder path, this folder path will tell you these are different folders which are available. From this place, I will just select this, which is monthly sales data, inbox monthly sales data, and I can click on OK. Now it will filter all the folders, all the emails, and give me only 48 email attachments which I have. If you try to observe, this will tell you the subject, what that email has. This will tell you the sender details. If I expand this data, deselect this checkbox and click on OK. This will give me the name of that person who has sent me and the email ID of that person. Next is, let's see what are the columns which are available. All your email details will be given in a tabular format. Remember, unstructured data has come into a structured format. So here we go. If I have more details, when was that email sent, date and time received, importance of that email. If I scroll on the right hand side, is it read or not? If I have read all the emails, I'll get the details. If not, I'll get here false. Sometimes you get only emails. People forget to send you the attachments. From here, you can filter whether it has attachments or not. I am mostly interested in the attachments which I've received. On the right hand side, if you see preview message, I can quickly find out what was the subject, what was the body text the person has written. It has written, "Hi Pavan sir, please find the attached Technoid sales monthly data." So I can read all the body text of that particular email. And there are some more details. If you see on the right hand side, some more information there. But right now, what I'm interested only in the column named as attachments. But I do not want the data of 2019. Remember that 2019. So in the subject line, the person sends me data with the name of the month and the year. So I can filter this data using text filters and tell them does not contain. Because if you see, I'm having 2022, 2020, 2021. I can tell that person text filters which does not contain. And here I can type, let's say 2019. And now I can just click on OK button. So it's see 2019, all the emails have been received. And now there are only 36 rows, 36 attachments. Why 36? 3 years of data into 12 months. I'll get 36 emails, 36 monthly data here. Coming back to this part, I only am interested into one column, which is the attachments. I'll select the attachments column, remove other columns. Now there are 36 attachments which I have. Now after getting the attachments column, I can expand this column and I can just click on OK. So I'll get all the details about that attachment. So what is the extension of attachment? What is the name of that attachment? Some details about the attachment here. So if you see, that email contains XLSX and PNG. Okay, so out of all the attachments, I'm only interested in the XLSX. Just select XLSX and click on OK. So all the 36 email, it will filter and keep only 36 attachments, which are Excel files. Depending upon your requirement, you can filter PDF, Excel, CSV, and so on. Now, all the data is hidden in the attachment contained column. That is the only hero column which has all the data kept inside. So I can keep that column, remove other columns. Now, attachment contained. We need to write a function to extract all the email attachments from there. So I can just go to add column, custom column here. Now remember, this project when you're seeing, you cannot understand in one time. You have to watch the videos twice and thrice minimum to get all the insights and all the answers. Post that you can do practical to get an understanding how it is working. Here I have to write one function named as excel.workbook, open bracket, and double click on attachment contain. So excel.workbook is a function which will extract all the data from that column which are Excel files. And now I can just click on OK button. Perfect. It took me 60 seconds to get all the email attachments separated. Now you might have a question. This is Excel. So we wrote a function named as excel.contain. Now what if the data has a PDF document? What if it has SQL? What if it has CSV document? So I can go to add column, custom column. If it is a CSV, you just type as csv.document. If it is having a PDF, you just type as pdf.tables. If that is having some JSON files, so you can just type as json.document. If that is having some SQL database, you can type as sql.database. If it has Azure, you can type as Azure. So depending upon the data set, your function should change. Currently, it is only an Excel file. So I've used as excel.workbook. Now, all the email attachments data has been extracted here. Now, I can just remove that attachment.contain column and just keep this column. Expand that column because all the files which I've received have the same pattern. They have the same column heading, same number of columns, and the positions are same. Now I can just click on OK. So it is mandatory that the emails which you receive or the attachments which you receive should have same column name. Number of columns can be less or more. Remember, when I say the same column name, if I have the first space name column, first space name, the second file also should have first space name. It cannot have first name without spaces. No, it needs to have the same column heading. Number two, the position of columns can be here and there. First name is the first column in the first file. First name is the 10th column in the second file. First name is the 20th column in the third file. Position does not matter. So name of the column should be exactly same. Position can be here and there. And third one is the number of columns can be less or more. So the first file has 10 columns, second file has 20 columns, and third file has 30 columns. That's not a problem. So this is something which you have to remember here. Obviously, the number of records will keep on changing here. Now, out of all data, if you see, data is the only column which I need. So I can just right click and remove the columns. So in this column, data would be kept. Rest all columns would be removed from here. Perfect. Now I'll just expand that column and then just click on load more. And here what I can do is I can just click on OK button. So what will happen is all the 36 attachments which I have received will be uploaded, and you can see I'll be getting those data here. So when I expand, all the 36 files have been extracted, and you can see it has been expanded. Now remember, those three things which I've told you will be applicable when you have a data set in a tabular format. It's in the table format. But suppose if you have a data which is not a table but only a sheet format, then the answers will change. At that point of time, you need to have same columns, and also the positions of those columns should be same. So currently I have the same number of columns and the positions are same. If you have a table format, then you can change the structure which I've said earlier. So right now I have the first row as a header. I can just promote the first row as a header, home menu bar, use first row as header. Now there are 36 times the headings are repeated. So what I can do is, in that case, I can just click on remove rows and I can say remove errors, because I know the order date value is repeated multiple times. If you want to have a look, you can see in this case, if I just click on keep rows, keep errors, I will have around 35 errors because there are 35 column headings which have been trying to convert into a date format. So what I've done is I just kept those errors, and just to show you that if you see here, when I keep a cursor next to that error message, at the bottom of the screen I'll get as order date. So this one, how many times error I'll be getting? I'll be getting 35 times. You see there are 35 errors which I have. So I can just delete the last step. I did it just to show you that it is repeated multiple times. If it was a table, this error I wouldn't have received. But since this data is having only sheets, I have got the error. So remember, table is a more structured format. So if your company or if your system is sending, try to get the data in a tabular format. So what's the solution for this one? I will just remove the errors from this column. I know the data, therefore I'm applying this particular step. Now, all those 36 email attachments have been combined and this is a clean data. If you think you need to clean some more things in this, you can maybe select some columns, try to convert this into an uppercase. You can go to the new columns and try to convert or change the data type. Now, the beauty of this example is, everyone, I have not opened those 36 emails. I have not downloaded those email attachments. Neither I copy pasted, neither used any coding knowledge or coding language to combine this data. Those things have been converted in front of you in less than 30-40 minutes maybe. So because I was explaining and I was showing you the practical here, but this entire activity will not take you more than 20 minutes, hardly 20 minutes. I can go on the right hand side and I can just change the data type of those columns into maybe data type as whole number, just for a namesake. You can keep it as a decimal, not a problem. Now finally, when all the data has been cleaned and combined, I can write the name as combined data. And then this is a clean data. So what we have done is, just a quick recap. We received many emails. We got the emails in Microsoft Power BI. We have not used any coding knowledge or coding language. We combined all those email attachments in hardly 15 steps, 15 button clicks, no coding required. Only one function we have used, excel.workbook. If it is a CSV, csv.document. Now finally, I can just click on home menu bar, close and apply. So this completes our project 50% on cleaning of that data set. So now let's see the remaining of data visualization in this project. So it took me almost 2 minutes to combine the data and get it loaded inside the Power BI. So now if you see, all the columns have been combined and this is the column names on the right hand side. Now the Power Query cleaning part, combining part and the automation has been done. If I receive a new email from that person, because this database or this visualization and database would be automatically appended. This is the beauty of this Microsoft Power BI. I do not have to come to the office. I do not have to open that email, neither have to download and get this updates. Now, let's move to the data visualization part. What I can do is, I have already created a theme which I will just try to use it. I can just click on this browse for themes. And here I have the theme kept into one of the folder, TechnoEdge theme here. So now this theme, once it is imported, I don't have to work on the cosmetic a lot. This is a gray color background and the colors are predefined. How to pick up those colors? These are predefined into this theme. So I can just use that theme in this particular project. Now I can just insert a title. First of all, I know what I have to present to my team. I need to present the dashboard such a way that whom I'm showing this presentation, he'll be able to take a quick decision. Which area, which region, which country, which city, which customer has given maximum profit. So all those details can be portrayed in one particular dashboard. Now I can go to insert menu bar and here I can insert, let's say, shape. This insert shape, just try to put on the top. Here I can press Ctrl C and Ctrl V and try to put it here. Now, one thing if you observe, the left hand side and the right hand side space on my screen is not utilized properly. I'll try to increase the width of this dashboard. Okay. Now this is not a dashboard, it's a report. And let's see. So I can right click on this place, format canvas. In this canvas settings, I will try to increase the width of this page to, let's say, maybe here as 1600. Height I can make it as, let's say, 900 and I can just make it as 800 for time being. So when I minimize, and if you see, this space has been increased here, but still I can see there's a space which is not utilized properly. I can right click, format canvas. I can make it as 720, keep it same. And this would be, let's say, 1700. Now if I just close this, you see it has occupied the full screen here. Now, so what I can do is, on the left hand side of the screen, I can add here some cards. On the top, I can add here a title. Okay, I'll try to add some visuals and some slices. So let's begin. The first thing what I can do is, I'll try to enter the title on this particular shape, right click, and I can just click on format. And here on the right hand side, shape style, I'll try to go to this text option, increase the text over here, and here I can write here as Techno H Sales Analysis Report. Let me just increase the size to make it proper visible. So now I'll just make it as bold, increase the size to maybe 16, 17, 18. Yes. Then try to change the alignment and I think it's fine. So this is a simple title on the top on the same shape which I've given. Now I want to add here some cards. To add a card, I have to create a card, insert menu bar, and here comes a visual gallery. So in this place, I have this card. I can add cards for sales, profit, quantity, and so on. Let me go to view tab, and this right hand side filter option is disturbing. So I've just disabled that part. So here in this place, I'm just going to add some numerical columns. So the first one I can add as sales. Try to put it here on the left hand side. So one particular card, I have to change the cosmetics. So I can just click on more options. Here on the right hand side, I'll get size and style. I can change the background to off. This particular text which is on that card, I have to make it as white color to make it little contrast. Increase the size of that text. And here in the category label, I'll change the text to as white color. Make it as bold and increase the size. Perfect. Now this particular text, if I want to change the title, I can also change the title over here. That is possible. So if I say as total sales. So I can just change the text color to white, increase the size. So you can also have a title on the top. This is the total sales title, and this is just a category label if I want. So maybe I can disable that label, and that's total sales. Same way, I can just copy paste, and copy paste. So the first one is for the sales. Second one should have been different. I can go back and talk about, let's say, profit. Third one, I can talk about, let's say, as discount. And the fourth one, I can bring here something else, quantity. Right. Now, on the left-hand side, if you see, they are written so smoothly, it's very easily visible now. So now the title I have to change everywhere. Let me go back, click on more options. Here on the title, I have to write as total profit. Since I know the column names, I'm writing it properly. This will be as total discount. And the fourth one would be as total quantity. Perfect. Moving on, I have to bring some visuals on the screen. So I can just right click, add visual. This is one of the newest method. In the previous version of Microsoft Power BI, we used to get a window over here where we used to pick up all the visuals. But now in the newer version, you have this option in the insert tab, which is visual gallery. So here I can just click on add button and I can bring some different visuals from here. Let's say I'll pick up here area chart, stack area chart. To add that data, I have to bring here some date data type. So I can just deselect this, suggest data type. So the first one would be order date, and I can bring here in y-axis as sales. And in the legend, I can bring here, let's say, region. So this is a stacked area chart. This is showing for all the years. If I want to see based on the quarters, I can click on this fourth button over here. This will show me about the quarters. Again, if I go back, it might show me for the months. So this way I can bring that area chart. Let me close that window. The formatting and the cosmetic part, we'll keep it for the end. The next one is I can add some more visuals. I can add data, deselect this option, try to create a map which shows me state-wise sales. So I can select state and in the bubble size, I will pick up here sales. So this is one of the map which I have. Remember, whenever you have a geographical data type which talks about the geographical locations, always prepare a map. If you have a date data type, create a line chart or an area chart. So this is a map which I have. Obviously, some customization would make it look much better. I can pick up here something, let's say grayscale, or I can pick up light, dark, and Arial. So this way, I think I'll just go for a road option here. That's very simple, easy to use it. Now, the other visuals which I can pick up here, I can just create a chart over here. So I can just click on add visual. Now I'll go for a simple chart, which is the column chart, stack column chart, and I'll just add some subcategory. I'll add here, let's say sales. Deselect this option and select this column chart option. Now this is what we call subcategory sales, a simple column chart. I can try to reduce the size such that it matches. So this way I have created a simple column chart. Now, few more visuals I can add here. I will add here, let's say, a donut chart. Right click and visual. Deselect this suggest type over here. I can pick up here, let's say, region. And in the y-axis, I can pick up here, let's say, as sales. So this is not a pie chart. I'll go for a pie chart. Select this chart. Try to place it in this area. Now the last one, I can right click, add visual. From here, I can just pick up a donut chart. Try to add here, let's say, a field named as segment, and then add values as sales. So that's a chart which I can bring it here. Now cosmetics will pay attention very soon. Now to make it chart with some third party add-in, I can just add some visuals. So in the visual gallery, I can click on get more visuals. From here, you will be opening a window of around 400 visuals. So one of them and very famous is scroller. So this kind of chart you might have seen on Sensex news channels, stock marketing firms, or any boards which you go in the organization. So I'm just trying to add that third party visual and which contains a rolling text. So I can click on OK. Visual gallery, I can add this scroller chart on this place. I will add here few fields, let's say state. I can pick up here sales and I can pick up here profit. Perfect. Now I'll just try to place this on the top. So now I don't need the title for this particular chart. I can right click on this place. Maybe I can click on this brush icon, click on more titles. I will disable the title which is on the top. Secondly, in the size and style option, and I have to change the font size. So let me select this option. Searching for font size, which is in the scroller option. I'll try to make it as auto font size. Then the speed is little boring. It looks like a Doordarshan news which is going on. I want it a bit faster. Okay, a bit faster. So I can select the scroll speed as, let's say, as 5. So this way, people would be attracted towards the dashboard. They will not find it boring. Okay. And if you want to add here some custom text, so you can add here, let's say I'll write my name as Pavan Lalwani, enter. So that particular text will keep on flowing. If you think you don't want your text, you just delete that particular text and remove from here. So scroll speed is 5, which is fine. Then next is status text coloring. That means if it is profitable, it will show as green color. If it is in loss, it will show in the red color. So I'll just keep it that way. Now, this is all the basic visuals we have added. Now let us add the company logo. I can just go to insert tab, insert some image, which I've already downloaded, and try to put it here. Now, moving on, if I want to add some social media icons, I can just go to a folder. I already have downloaded some pictures kept into one of the folder. So I'll just try to add here LinkedIn, and also I'll try to add maybe as Facebook. Perfect. And then try to place it at the right location. You can definitely change the colors and bring some good colors which can match with this particular theme itself. You can spend a lot of time on this, and I'll just try to minimize. Perfect. Now this is the part which you have done for creating a report. Observe the time, how much it required to create a report. This is what you call end-to-end project in Power BI. But just wait, there's something which is still left. The cosmetic part, I can just click on this format option. I don't want the legend part here, and I'll just go to more options. I want the title to be better. I want the detail labels to be better. So on the right hand side, I will just disable the background. I will just go for the legend as off. Detail labels, I want as the category and percent of total. The values which are given are very small. I think the size can be made better and made it as black color. Perfect. So this is one of the visuals. The title which is given, I think the title can be made better. The title has to be as middle alignment. If you see here the middle alignment, I think you cannot see that. However, you know how to work on it. And I can make it as bold, size little bit increased, and also I can add some shadow. Okay, so this way, this features of cosmetic I can just copy and paste it everywhere. That's what you call format painter. So I can select the chart, use format painter, and paste on different visuals. So I can select it, paste it on different visuals. So here I can also add the data label which is not there. Data label. Perfect. Now if I close the other windows and if I show for a presentation, this report looks beautiful. People call this as a dashboard. Okay, so if you're explaining this to a layman who has not been interacting with Power BI, you can call this as a dashboard, not a problem. But if you're interacting with a person who's already knowing about Power BI, you have to call this as a report. Okay, so remember, I have written on the top as report. There's a difference between report and a dashboard, which you already might know because we have come to the project part right now. Now, here in this place, a data label is missing. So let me add the data label. Perfect. Data label has to be in thousands, which are given as millions. More options. Here at the bottom, which I'll get as data label. And somewhere at the bottom, I'll be getting as values. Display units, I can make it as thousands. Perfect. So now after creating this data visualization, now the time has come where we have to share this report with our stakeholders. So imagine we got a dirty data in the email and now we want to share a beautiful dashboard to directly the person whom we want to report. So for that activity, we have to click on home menu bar, publish, and I'll just click on save. First, the thing is you need to save this file. So I'll just save this file as Techno H Sales Analysis Report 2. Now, after this, once it is published, I can just click on my workspace, click on select. This will take some time, around 30 seconds to publish the report. Once it is published, I have to click on the link and open that report. Click on open. And now this report is published in online version. Now I can see the same report in my mobile phone as well. If you're a mobile phone user and you can just download from the Play Store that this is the Power BI app, from there you can see this particular report here. Now, coming back to this part, if you're going for a presentation and if you want to present it a full screen, you can just click on this full screen option and you can see you can present it properly this manner. Now you see this blank space which is left at the bottom, you can just pre-plan before you are doing the presentation and you can utilize the space as well. Now, what I was saying is if you want to send this, beautiful dashboard to your stakeholder, you can just click on subscribe button and then you can just add new subscription. So the person whom you are sending will get a regular updates. Here I can mention the email ID of the person. I can just select whether it is daily, weekly or monthly. I can select the option as weekly. We work on Monday to Saturday. We don't work on Sundays. So I want my manager, my team leader to get a report from Monday to Saturday every morning, let's say 10 o'clock. 9:30 is the reporting time. The first email should go, which is my dashboard. And that should be in the morning. And I can just click on save. But there are some few more options, which I can go to more options. Here I can say weekly report. Not weekly, it's a daily report. Daily report, which is sales analysis report. And I can include a message, hi PL, please find the attachment of the report. Now, this is the date and time we have. This will only send one page at a time. You cannot subscribe to multiple pages. So if you want multiple pages, multiple times you have to click on add subscription. So start date, this is the today's date, and the end date, which is till when you want to send the emails regularly to your stakeholder. So the person will get a preview image, a snapshot of this image, will get a link to this particular report and the permission to access the report. I won't click on save button, otherwise my colleague will keep on getting everyday emails at 10 o'clock. So I'll just click on cancel. Now this is the beautiful part. Now suppose my colleague sends me a report right away. Okay. Now this is a end-to-end project what we are learning. When we get an email attachment from my colleague, again, let's say Vikas, this will be automatically updated in the output here, in the dashboard. One setting is missing. In the My Workspace, if I go back there, in the data set, I have to do some setting. So let me close this window. If I go back, there's a TechnoEdge Sales Analysis Report. Click on three dots, Settings option. Here in this data source credentials, I have to give the credentials. I have to give the permission to Power BI service to access my email attachments. Only then this is possible. So I can just click on edit credentials. I can say as private, sign in. Then I have to give the access of this email. Perfect. Now, any email which comes from Vikas with that subject line and particular attachment, which is Excel file, here automatically a dashboard will keep on upgrading. So I do not have to come to the office to do all this activity. So this is the beautiful part about this end-to-end project we have. Now please see, I have recently received now January 2023, which is 7 o'clock right now. So this 2023 email which I have received, there in Power BI, I should get the updated data. But let's figure out first, if I go to this place and if I just open this dashboard separately, So you can see the numbers. Let's pick up one of the number. I'll pick up the smallest one, 669. Okay, 669, which is the number, which is total discount, and 30,000 is the quantity. Now, if I refresh the data, the dashboard should be refreshed. I have not opened the email. I have received the email. And Vikas has just now sent me an email. Please observe 7 o'clock right now. If I go back to Power BI and if I show you the time when it was recently published, it was 6:59. I just sent a message to Vikas, kindly send me an email attachment. 6:59, and now if I click on refresh, I can do a scheduling refresh, that's not a problem. 6:59, now it should change to, let's say, 7:03 maybe. Right. 7:03 if you observe here, and now the report has been updated. So when you change the data set, the report has to be updated inside Power BI. The beautiful part is I don't have to do this work repetitively. And here, if I just open this report, so remember the number if you had 669. So 669 has been converted to 691. 30,000 has been converted to 31,000. So the conclusion of this video is the end-to-end project what we have in Power BI is we get a raw data in an email attachment. We don't come to the office. We don't open email. Don't download the attachment. Don't clean it. Don't visualize it. And automatically your boss sitting on the other end is getting that email attachment in the form of beautiful dashboard. Now, let me tell you what is the impact of this particular project if you implement in your organization. Now, let's calculate. A company where a particular person is working, he spends almost 1 hour per day into this activity. Downloading, copy pasting, cleaning, visualization, and sending it. If he prepares daily report. One person, if he spends 1 hour, the person spends 240 hours in the entire year. 240 hours. If you divide 240 hours by 8 hours in a day, okay, 8 hours is the normal people work in a day. So that comes to 30 days, which is almost equivalent to 1 point somewhere 25 months approximately. So a person who's doing this activity every day is spending 1.25 months approximately in the entire year to do the same task. Now, the company is spending 1.25 months of salary on this activity. If you implement this project, which I've shown you right now, the company is going to straight away save that 1.25 months. 1.25 months is almost equivalent to 1 lakh. Average salary in India, if you say, it's approximately 1 lakh around. So, like this, there are multiple activities in Power BI which can be implemented and you can automate this task. This is a calculation which has been proven by all the bigger organizations where this kind of training has happened already. So, now if I talk about a fintech company where I've worked together with them, they used to have 10 members in the organization and their job was to send a report hourly. I'm talking about daily report. They used to send hourly report. So imagine the amount of time, effort, and energy they were investing on that repetitive work. That has come down to only one resource in the organization. So, upgrade yourself on Microsoft Power BI. The last case study I want to share, there's one of the biggest bank in India. I will not be able to take the name of that bank. They used to get all the email attachments from all the banks in the country in India. They used to send the daily reports, the MIS reports, what you call NEFT, IMPS, ATM transactions, POS transactions to that particular bank. The bank used to have few more members who used to sit 4 hours per day to download those email attachments, clean the different formats they receive in the attachments, combine it, and create a government report so that they can publish it online. This activity 4 hours per day. So imagine 4 hours per day is almost equivalent to 6 months of salary if you calculate in a proper manner. Now, and government people get paid more over there. So now you can imagine the amount of time they have saved. They have implemented this case study, and that 6 months of time per person has come down to 15 days in a month. This activity has to be automated. It is only one time activity. The next time you don't have to open the email, next time you don't have to open the dashboard. So directly it will go to your stakeholders inbox itself. So implement this project. Just do not learn and practice and create a dashboard. No, implement end-to-end solution of this project. So that's it for this particular project on Microsoft Power BI. I hope you have understood, and that's all for this video.